In the Sthita Prajna, Bhagavan Krishna had given the picture of the perfect person. Life is a puzzle, and that puzzle life, like a jigsaw puzzle, you can never put them together unless you know or you see the real picture. If somebody gives a jigsaw puzzle, now assemble, he'll obviously ask, give me the picture which I have to finally reach. Otherwise, I'll assemble it, will not make any sense, or it'll take more time. So, when Bhagavan has given the picture of the perfect being, who is the perfect being? One who has decided not to venture into the world for any happiness anymore. For Atmanieva Atmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajnaha. One who has discovered joy within oneself, self-content, complete. I have nothing more to gain from the world, nothing more to lose also. And I think nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Such a person alone is complete. One who has found the infinite source of happiness, joy in every moment. Despite the external situation, he remains fully satisfied with oneself. Apuryamanam machala pradishtam samudramapa pravishanti yatvat tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. Just like the many rivers get into the ocean, but ocean never loses its balance. It's always staying in its own stature and never overflows. How many ever water comes. In the same way, as Sthita Prajna is one, irrespective of his perceptions in the world, irrespective of all the transaction he does in the world, which may bring many thoughts, but he never loses its balance. He is able to accommodate all of them and remains content and calm like that of a ocean. So that is why it is said, such a person is Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha na enam prapya vimuhyati stitvasyam antakalepi brahma nirvanam richati. Towards the end of second chapter, Bhagavan said, such a person, state is called Brahmatvam, Brahmasthiti. He has reached the state of Brahman, which is none other than the innermost nature of all of us. He's reached all of us. And this state, even if you reach at the last part of your life, you are done. But it is not possible to reach at the last part of our life if we have not worked towards that. So listening to this, Arjun had a very valid doubt. He said, if this is what I need to reach as my goal of my life, why are you putting me into this terrible war? Why should I fight the war? By war, I am not going to obtain what you are saying. In the war, everybody is going to be killed. My mind will be extrovert. How will I reach the state of contentment, fulfillment by engaging in this war? I do not see any connection between these two, and they are actually showing to be contradictory. Extroverted engagement in the world and introverted realization of the self are two different paths altogether. Bhagavan Krishna smiles and said, yes, you are right. There are two paths. From the beginning of this universe, I have pointed out this. There is one path of karma and one path of jnanam. This is definitely true. But in between that, there is one thing is there which connects these two. And that is known as Karma Yoga. The path of karma is extrovert. Path of jnanam is introvert. Introvert means what? Inquiry into one's own self, wisdom, pursuit of knowledge, meditation, whatever you call that. Other one is engage in the world, acquire, aggrandize, possess, own, rule, prove. Another direction. So, these two are divergent paths. But there is one thing that connects. The path of knowledge and path of karma, and that is known as Karma Yoga. This is unique to Bhagavad-Gita. In Upanishad, this discussion is not there. The discussion in the Upanishad is about jnanam, and that is available only to those people who have given up action. Only the person who has given up his worldly actions only is eligible for Upanishadic teaching. Nirvedamaya nastyakradakrudena. Upanishad says a person realizes that karma will not reach me anywhere to my contentment, fulfillment. Therefore, I have to completely give up that and then go to the abode of the teacher in a solitude and listen to his words and contemplate. This is what I need to do. Gurudev also had done that. He had gone after renouncing his journalist profession, went to Shivananda and learned, and then realized that I need to know more. And he was sent to Swami Tapovanam and reached there and lived in total simplicity and learned Upanishad, etc. And then he realized that no doubt jnanam is going to give me the highest moksha, no doubt about that. But then, is this only for a selected number of people? Chosen number of people? Is it only for those who have gained the vairagya to gain this knowledge? Or it can be made available to people who don't even have a clue about it. Such a possibility is there. Everybody is in the, unending cycle of action, reaction, result of action. So why do humans believe in action? That is said in Gita itself, Kanchan karmanam siddhim. By constantly desiring the result of action, yajanta iha devataha, people engage in worship of gods, etc. Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Only by action people see visible results. And we want visible results, right? We do something, we want the result. And if I say, if you do this action, the result will be after your death. You say, nahi karunga. If you tell a person who is 20-year-old, you do the action, you'll get the result next birth. Usko time hai na, main baad mein karunga. So before I die, I will do it. Why I do now? That is why many people, Gita padho, kyun? तो मोक्ष मिलेगा उसके बारे में बाद में सोचेंगे अभी क्या why should I worry about it right now? So one would not see the visible result by jnanam, and therefore everybody is interested in knowledge. In action. Kshipram manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Result of action is Shipram, quick. So people engage in action for quick results, and such people, if you tell them that you engage in the pursuit of knowledge, the question that will come in their mind is, like action, will knowledge give immediate result or not? If that question is raised by your child who is going to 5th grade, what will be your answer? You have to finish up to 12th grade. And after that, you pursue another 4 years of undergraduation. Then after that, another 2 years of graduation. And after that, permanent head damage or MBA. And then you will find a job, maybe. How many years over by the time? 22 years over. So if a 5-year-old is told, you will get the result of your present education after 17 years. 17 years. Or you go and talk to a person who's in the first year medical. 8 years to go for the basic things. And then specialization. And then rotate. So after another 5, 6, so total 15 years you have to study. After that, probably. And I asked somebody, why the Indian parents always would like to fund the children for their graduation. Do you know why? Tell me. Why do the Indian parents always fund the children's graduate education? You know why? They don't want them to be lonely. You didn't get it? Lonely. So, but whereas a person who wants quick result, what he would say? Can I do today and tomorrow I'll get a result or not? Shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Therefore, everybody is engaged in action. So, Arjun's question is right. If I have to reach the final result only by knowledge, why should I go for actions right now? In Upanishad, this discussion has not come because all the students who are there are ready for knowledge, having understood the limitation of action. Yes, action gives quick result, and quick results will have only quick disappearance also. Action-born results are temporary. And only the knowledge which shows the permanent nature of us will have a permanent result. And those who do not understand this, they will settle down for quick results. So then, the famous verse in verse chapter 2, Adhikaraha karmanyeva. You are qualified to engage in action only at this present moment. Karmanyeva adhikaraha te. Not on the result. This part is peculiar to Gita. Why I say this is, Upanishad doesn't even talk about this portion. On the other hand, if you take the Vedic portion of the Vedas, meaning karma portion of the Vedas, they talk about result first. Iske liye kaam karo. Is it not? Before you take any ritual, what do the sankalpa say? Putra praptyartam, ishtada praptyartam, right? Shema, Sairya, Virya, Vijaya, Vayu, Arogya, Prapti ke liye hai. If that priest doesn't state what are the things you get, you will not even start. Iske liye kar raha hu. So the priest or the person who is officiating will clearly state, if you do this, you get this. So there is no question of phalatyaga there. There is no question of giving up result there. Because you are doing it only for that purpose. So interesting thing is, so karma phal ke liye kar raha hu. If karma phal nahi milta hai, to मैं क्यों करूं? Bhagavan Krishna says, Karmani eva adhikaraha ma phaleshu. This is a preparation for moving from karma to jnana. But you cannot suddenly move. It is like if you are going on a train which is going, say, 30 miles or 40 miles per hour speed in India. Suddenly you realize that you got into a wrong train. What do? Open the door. You can jump. No, nobody will stop you. There'll be disastrous accident there and you'll die. In the same way, when you are going in such a speed in action, everything that you do is only for getting something out of, and suddenly if somebody comes and says, don't do it. Jnana marg mein chalo. Pagal hai kya? I'm going in such a speed and everything that I use for result, and then suddenly you are saying that that is not going to be permanent. I cannot stop that. So knowing this very well, Bhagavad-Gita, what does it teach? Middle path. What is the middle path between karma and jnanam? Karma-yoga. And Gurudev also realized after studying from Swami Tapovanam, taking the leave of his teacher, he said, I am going back to the world of people and going to tell them that there is a choice for them to finally reach moksha. Jnanam is the choice. But for the jnanam, to prepare for that, one has to start changing their way of doing things, which I need to teach them. Reluctantly, his teacher allowed him. Why do we need to do that? Because he said, I'm a journalist. My job is to explain the situation to the people, is it not? I am a journalist by nature. And my intent is to create the information, give the information, disseminate the information to the people, either by writing or by talking. That is me. And having gained the knowledge, I cannot but do this. Tathastu, all the best. So when he came down to the plains and started to explain, don't think that because you are a grahastha, because you are a person of the world, do not think you are not eligible for a higher way of living. You can, all of you can, provided you start changing your ways from karma to karma yoga. You become eligible for knowledge slowly. And when it comes to a time when you can stop your action, after you fulfill your responsibilities, etc., when you are ready for it, you know where to go. If you are until 60, 65, 70, you are only working, you never understand that there is a choice that I can stop and then go into a different higher level of thinking. You don't even have the knowledge how to go, or you're not even prepared, then what will you do? When your body faculties are failing, or you are not able to work the way you have been before, or nobody wants you to work anymore, nobody wants to employ you, what will you do? Your mind should be ready for higher contemplation, meditation, withdrawal from the world, and for that the preparation is karma yoga. And he says, that's why karmanyeva adhikarahate ma paleshu ma karma phalaheturbuhu ma te sangahastu akarmani. Do not merely stop working. By merely stopping work, you will not gain knowledge. But transferring that knowledge, action into karma yoga, action, karma to karma yoga, your mind get prepared for the knowledge. And Gurudev used to say, quiet mind is ready for knowledge. But not sleeping, huh? Quiet mind, yes, Swamiji. Every day, after dinner, quiet mind. That's ready for knowledge. A quiet mind, but alert mind. A mind which is awake, but not agitated. Alert, but not sleeping. And to gain that alertness, to gain that attention, karma yoga, where there is no more anxiety for results, karma karte raho, phalk chodte raho. But that mind is ready. That mind is ready for knowledge. And Arjun would have this question, has anybody done like this? Yes. Karmadaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadayah. Your own predecessors, those whom you do not know, but they were there, Janaka. Said to be Sita's father. Janaka literally means father. Jananam karoti iti Janaka. Everybody is Janaka only. Our fathers are Janakas only. So there was a great king Janaka who was taught by his own teacher Ashtavakra. And such a Janaka was a king, a very efficient king. And he also gained knowledge from his teacher Ashtavakra. But he continued to work. And how did he work? Loka sangrahamaevapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. So you are like Janaka, Loka sangraham evavi sampashyan, looking at how your action will benefit the maximum number of people. You don't need to do it for yourself. Karma yoga, the thing is that you need to do karma, no doubt, action, but not necessarily for only yourself. Why do you think that your action is only for yourself? Loka sangrahamevapi sampashyan, seeing that how your action can benefit the maximum number of people, one should engage like the way Janaka did. So the middle path is meant for those who are able to do their best in the world, at the same time ready to get ready for the sake of knowledge. If you, a common man, if you go and tell him, do karma yoga, he says, why, kyun karo? If he has no desire for knowledge, he will not do it. If he has no desire for moksha, he will not do it. He said, I am getting what I want by action. Until at some time comes where he cannot do anymore. Then everything will look bleak and empty, and suddenly a huge wall in front of him. Now, what am I to do? Before the world kicks you, you kick the world. Swami Vivekananda said this. Before the world kicks you, they don't want you anymore. You say, I don't want you anymore. Why should you kick me? And I'll kick you out. So, evam nyatva kridam karma purvairabi mumukshubhihi. This is the way people have in the past who are seekers of liberation have done. Evam nyatva kridam karma purvairabi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Therefore, you do purvai purvataram kritam. You also follow the same way as they have done in the past. Not imitate, but emulate. Develop that. So in everyday life also, you do your best. Don't wait for somebody to praise it, notice it, acknowledge it, congratulate it. Thank you for that. Keep doing what is right. Keep going. Whether the world acknowledges it or not, you know what you did is right. Keep going. Keep doing the right thing and move ahead. And that attitude, when you develop, you will feel that you are inside, you're so happy and joyful, irrespective of external situations, whether anybody notices, whether anybody acknowledges, whether anybody recognizes. I've done my right thing. Keep going. For every action is for self-correction. Every action is meant for my improvement. Every action that I do is for me to move further ahead in my own mind. I'm not doing for anybody else. And the world is giving me an opportunity to move ahead. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairavi mumukshubhihi kuru karma eva tasmatvam purvai purvataram kritam. So Arjun will have a doubt, You gave the example of Janaka, of somebody, I don't know who they are. Okay, maybe evident. But today, at this moment, do you have anybody to show me that such a person can do action without seeking a result? Krishna smiles me. Name parthasya kartavyam trishulokesha kinchana. In this world, 3 worlds. There is nothing I need to do. There is no duty for me. Name partha asti kartavyam. For me, there is no duty at all. Trishulokesha kinchana. Na anavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Even in fact that there is nothing in this world which I don't have. Everything is mine. Anavaptam avaptavyam. Anavaptam means what is not mine, I have to get. There is nothing like that. Already everything is mine. So why am I doing anything in front of you? As your own driver, as Gurudev would say. I'm standing there as your driver. Why should I do this? Tell me. What is the purpose of me being there in this war? I'm not going to fight. Why am I here? Understand that? I'm demonstrating Karma Yoga here to you. Do I have anything to gain out of this? Nothing. I am equally available to Pandavas and Kauravas, yet I do not have any particular duty to accomplish. Gurudev was asked this question, Swamiji, you have been talking day in and day out. Why are you doing this? He said, you know why? You are my prarabdha. I am your prarabdha. What to do, you have to listen to me. What to do, that I have to talk to you. Because he said, you cannot stop me. My nature is to talk. And I'm talking sense only, not unnecessary things. So, here Krishna says, I have no duty to perform here. But yet I'll do. In this world, nothing that I gain. Why? Because already it's mine. So when you take a flower from your garden and go to the Lord, Bhagavan, flower. Arey, mera hai. I've already created that. It is mine. You're giving it to me. Aapke liye main de raha hu. You will say, it's already mine. What are you giving me? So that's why he says, even if you give one leaf, one flower, one fruit, I don't want that thing, but I want your love, devotion. That's what I'm looking for. Any amount of thing that you give, if you don't give with devotion, it is not worth giving to me. So what I want is not material things. I want your bhav, your attitude, your love, your devotion is what I'm looking for. So here also, I'm doing it out of love for this world, not that I'm going to gain anything out of this. And Arjun, therefore, understand Karma Yoga is the middle path between Karma and Jnanam. For those people who are not interested in final liberation, Karma Yoga is not necessary and they cannot do it also. And those who are fully eligible for Jnanam, they don't need to do also. Those who have become completely Vairagya, they have absolutely no interest in and mind is become so pure, ready for knowledge, they don't need to do it. Upanishad students have not been prescribed Karma Yoga. But people who are of the world, who finally want to find the way to final joy, they cannot leave the karma also, they cannot fully get into path of knowledge also. Because they are not ready for that jump, that leap. For them, the path that is prescribed by Krishna is, through Bhagavad-Gita, is Karma Yoga. And one caution Bhagavan gives to you, that When you take up this path of Karma Yoga, it is for you only, I'm telling you. Don't go and try to influence others. Because they don't understand this. Sakta karmanya vidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvams tada asaktaha asaktam teshu karmasu chikirshu loka sangraham. Sorry. Like the people who are so attached to their work, sakta karmanya vidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata. How a person attached to results is so attached to the action, and day in and day out continuously works for the sake of result through his action. In the same way, not one iota difference in them. Same energy, same enthusiasm, same effort. Kuryat vidvans tata asaktaha chikirshulloka sangraham. So when we saw Gurudev and all day in and day out and continuously working and answering people, writing letters or traveling and talking, I said, what drives him? Why is he doing so much? Like any businessman, for the sake of expanding his company or expanding his business, or for the sake of higher position, how so much effort he would put to do things so that he will achieve the results and achieve his goals. How much the people do. Look at the politicians. How much they day in and day out one shout at the top of the voice and then go around in the entire country and talking about it and all that. You can see only them once in 4 years. And how much they do. So much attachment. Right? In the same way, a person of knowledge, one who is completely detached from results, also should work so much. Gurudev was asked this question, Swamiji, Shankaracharya also went 3 times back and forth in the entire country, walking. Think about it. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, 3 times he went back and forth, walking, to establish matas, to establish, reconsecrate temples. And so much he was doing in the short period of time when he had. Every day is filled with activities. And so much he did in a short period of time. All masters are like that. All great masters are those who never sit down quietly. They keep working. So somebody asked him, Gurudev, so he walked, but you are going by flight. So Gurudev said, if Shankaracharya had access to the flights, he would have done the same thing. The intention is not to walk. Intention is to reach the people. Do the work. How quickly you can make it happen, how efficiently you can do it. It is not the intention, it's not I have to walk and show the people how to walk. Why should I show the people how to walk? Intention is not. So your intention is to reach people. Chikirshulloka sangraham. Meaning, for the sake of benefit of the people, when you think about it, you will never stop. So try to do your best and do not think that somebody would appreciate what you're doing. Even if nobody sees it, you keep doing that. And the one important ingredient in a karma yogi is he never looks back. I did, finish. If it is successful, good. If it is not, I learned. Move. Gurudev always would say, if you are successful, good, move. If you are not successful, learn, move. So what? So it is not successful. I learned what mistake I have done. I'll continue. So this is the Karma-yoga-prakaashikaayai Namah. The next name that is given is Yajna-bhaavanaa-prakaashinyai Namah. Now, while thus working in the world, whatever you do is given and gone. Just like in a fire ritual, what you offer is not yours anymore. Once you offered, it is gone, right? It's called ahuti. Ahuti means offering. And the fire, when it takes, it doesn't give it back to you. In the same way, your action, when it is performed, to the best of your knowledge and ability, you perform all right. Once you have done, there it ends. This is called yajna or sacrifice. So this topic of yajna is a very important topic which Krishna starts on in the 3rd chapter. Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam kuru kaunteya yukta sangas samachara. The karma yoga itself is termed as yajna by Krishna at some point of time. Just like in the yajna, which is called sacrifice, you give up, you offer into the fire, not to take back anything further. Most important thing in this particular action is of yajna is you lose your ownership. Isn't that true? Tera tujko arpan. I am offering to you. Your ownership is no more. If you retain your ownership, it is not sacrifice. Sacrifice means it is not anymore mine. Which means what? Not only bhoktrutva tyaga, kartrutva tyaga api. मैं कर रहा हूं, ये भावना भी छोड़ना है. That is the excellence of yajna. Doer also lose doership. Not only the objects. I did, that also should be given up. That's why Gurudev would say, na mama, when you chant, Krishnaya idam, na mama, Shivaya idam, na mama. What does it mean? Na mama means? Not mine, not mine. Those things, those of us who constantly think about my and me, they are called, those people who live in Miami. When I was in Miami, we told them, you people, you're not good. Why? Because you're constantly thinking about my and me, my and me, my and me. So, yajna is where you offer not only the objects or the things that you offer, not me. I'm not the owner anymore. This. So, yajnartat karmanaha, if you do not do the action with this attitude of yajna, anyatra karma, other than that, when you do, karma bandhana. That action will bind you. Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Therefore, tatartam kuru kaunteya, for yajnartam kuru kaunteya, mukta sangas samachara. Detach and engage. Mind should be detached from the ownership and then engaging in action vigorously, intensely, enthusiastically. That is the yajna. So then Arjuna would ask, obviously, is there any demonstration here? Look at the nature around you. The plant in your backyard, you have let's say not eggplant, right? In backyard, you have a mango plant, let us say, or jackfruit plant or whatever, does it eat its own fruits? It gives up the moment it is ripe, it's detached. Right? It doesn't take its own fruits. It's in fact when it is ripe, छोड़ता है उसको. It doesn't pick it up. It doesn't take it with him. No, मैं नहीं दूंगा. So, and they are not forced to do anything. They do it continuously without anybody even worrying about it or talking about it or demanding it. Sun, the moon, the fire, the water, the earth, and the trees and the plants, all of them are what? Yajna. That's why he says, when the Prajapati created this universe, he built in as a spirit into that. When the creation began, it began with this. What? Everything should happen in this world with an attitude of yajna. Purovacha Prajapatihi. In the Prajapati, in the Puravacha, he said that Anena prasavidhyatvam yeshabhostitta kamaduk. Let this attitude be there in everyone, by which all of them will become beneficiaries. You put your effort in any field, with such an amount of effort you put, that particular field will give you the result. If a farmer is working in the field of the farmer, putting his effort in that, the field will give you the result. Because its nature is that. It is built that way. You don't need to worship the sun for the sun to come rise up in the east. If you don't do namaskar, it won't come. Surya namaskar aaj nahi kiya, ab nahi aayenge. Chandra namaskar. You need to do that. Whether you do namaskar, otherwise, it will do its work. So too, an individual should engage in his action continuously, and at the same time, when you do an action, detach yourself from that ownership. So he says, then what would be the result of such an action where I have done my best? He says that the remnant part, last part, after having distributed the result to everyone, one who takes only the last part of that is considered as the most meritorious person. Yajna-shishtamrita-bhujaha muchyate sarva-kilbishaihi pujyate tu agam papaha ye pachantyatma-karanat. So those people who have taken only the last share of their action, they are considered as the most beneficiary ones, most meritorious one, for they become free of all their impurities. Others, those who cook for themselves, you know what, when we cook, we put our share separately. Then only we start distributing, right? Because how can I be going starving? And my portion should be kept separately out. So here, punjate tu agam papa haye pachantya atma karanat. So here also he says, that very yajna bhava should finally bring you that joyful engagement where gata sankasya muktasya jnana avasthita chetasah yajnaya acharata karma samagram praviliyate. When a person, when he does in this way, that karma yoga at the highest level become a yajna, a sacrifice, an offering, detachment from even the doership. Such an individual, for him the action will naturally come to an end. Naturally come to an end means what? He would find the futility of action slowly. And his need to engage also come to an end slowly. And how will it happen? Because the maturity shows that these are the things I don't need to do anymore. I'm doing it out of fancy, out of desire, out of habit. I don't need to do that anymore. That maturity would come. Samagram praviliyate. And the very famous verse in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita is, the doer is the God. The action is also God. What you offer is also God. Where you offer is also God. Brahmarpanam. Arpanam means the ladle in which you are offering. In a typical ritual, they use the ladle for offering the ghee or any ahuti. So the instrument through which you are offering, that is Brahman. Brahmahavihi. What you are offering is also Brahman. Brahmagnau, into which you are offering is also Brahman. Brahmanahutam, who is giving is also Brahman. For what? Why? When he has all this, the one with which I am giving, what I am giving, into which I am giving, the one who is giving. Brahmaivatena gantavyam. To such a person, where does he go? To that Brahman only. Brahma karma samadhina, because his mind is always remembering that everything that is there is nothing but Brahman itself. This is what we chant every Sunday. And the children are asked to chant, but I don't know whether they know the meaning at all or not. They chant. Parents also chant. So seeing that oneness, the one who is offering, the one, the means through which I am offering, what I am offering, into whom what I am offering, everything is one. So this is how Bhagavan Krishna concludes the topic of what is yajna. Finally, you should see that oneness. But at the same time, the next topic is Vividha-yajna-pradarshikaayai Namah. He explains in the Vedic literature, there are many different means of this performance of yajna is also mentioned. He enumerates 12 of them. Different kinds of yajnas. In all these yajnas, two things are very important. What you are giving or what you are offering, and into what you are offering. What you are offering and into what you are offering. See, he brings 12 yajnas. We briefly see that here. First one is called Daiva Yajna, which is what you find in most of the temples they do. In the olden times, they did not have the forms of Krishna, Ram, and other such deities. They had instead the Indra, Agni, Varuna, Rudra, and all these deities. And they don't have forms. So all of them are invoked into the fire. So Daiva Yajna is the first one. Today's world, it is called Upasana. So when you go to a temple, so you see a form of God, and the priest on behalf of you, he offers whatever you bring. So whom are you offering? To God. What are you offering? Whatever you got. Maybe fruits, maybe flowers, maybe some other things that you prepared. So this is also called yajna, because here also you are offering to the God with an idea, it is for you. With an idea, it's not anymore mine, it is to you. And if the priest takes it and then distribute it to everybody, including you also, but you don't mind, you don't worry about it. Why? Because I have given to God, and now on behalf of God, the priest is giving to everyone. So the idea is that here, whatever I have got, I'm offering to him. That is the offering. To whom am I offering? The form of God whom I worship. This is the first type of yajna. Daiva yajna it's called. Second type of yajna is called Brahma yajna. This is a little higher. Instead of a God, I'm giving to the highest of all gods. Here again, it is not another form of God. Brahman is one who is one who has given the power to all of them. See, my eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. Individually, they are powerful. But all of them coming from one source only. Is it not true? My mind itself is functioning through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. My mind is also functioning because of the buddhi. Buddhi is functioning because of my consciousness. That consciousness is a Brahman. To that Brahman I offer. So, Brahman is the fire, and they offer their ignorance into it. So, my avidya, my lack of knowledge, I am offering into the thought of Brahman. It is not a physical action. You don't go anywhere. But you are offering your ajnanam into the thought of Brahman. This is second. Brahma Yajna, it's called. The third one is called Sanyama Yajna. Sanyamanam is control. So, when I live in this world, when my mind and my senses organs are going in different directions, eyes want to see something, nose wants to smell something, ears want to hear something, tongue wants to taste something. No. This is called Sanyamanam. Samyak Yamanam. So self-control is the fire. So sense organs are the offering. Self-control is the fire into which you are offering it. So this practice is also quiet practice. Others don't need to see it. So I want to see this, no need. I want to hear this, no need. The control that you are having over your senses is also called a yajna. This is the third type. The fourth type is indriya yajna. For example, when you are seeing an object, the mind runs towards that object and want to repeat that experience again and again. One rasgulla, छोटू है, छोटू है तो दो चाहिए ना, एक नहीं, one is not content. So when your experience is coming in, when it is not properly offered, it would like to repeat. So the sense objects are offered into the sense organ as a fire. No more it is repeated. See, that is why when Mahatmas, when they start eating, when we went to Uttarakanshi and other places, when we offer, they never was for second time. Once they take, and we go and, ask for, do you want again? But many of them would say, they will not say anything. They'll just say this. Because once offered, that's it. Afterwards, they do not want to repeat it. In fact, they eat only once a day, actually. So they have taken it as a fire. Once it is given, done. I don't want to repeat it. I don't want it to indulge in that. So sense objects are offered into the fire of sense organs. This is the fourth type of yajna. Fifth type of yajna is Atma Sanyama Yoga Yajna. Atma Sanyama Yoga Yajna. Here the word yoga is very important. The very yoga in the Yoga Shastra has got the yama, somebody is talking. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyanam, samadhi. This is called Ashtanga Yoga, right? Many of you know that. So in this, the Atma Sanyama Yoga means activities of the pranas and senses are offered in the practice of yoga. So in a person who is really practicing Ashtanga Yoga, he is taught how to do the yama niyama, external, internal controls. And after that, yama niyama, then asana. Asana means what? Sitting in one place, not moving. So we always practice that. Once we sit down, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, you are able to sit down without a movement. Without movement, not getting up, not movement, not. But that is a practice This practice is necessary for you to stabilize your mind. The more the body moves, the more the mind also moves. Or the more the mind is fidgety, physical body will express that. Now, asana means asidati, sits down, settles. That's why the asana has to be practiced. The moment you take a posture, and when you are steady in that posture, after that, there's no movement. What does it mean? In the practice of yoga, you are making sure all your activities, prana as well as the karmendriyas. Earlier we talked about is jnanendriyas, sense and sense objects. Here we are talking about speech, hands, feet, reproductive organ, anus. All of them are under control. This is called Atma Sanyama Yoga Yajna. That's number 5. Then Bhagavan quickly says, Dravya Yajna. This is what we do in many of the rituals. What we offer is Dravyam. Dravyam does not necessarily mean a physical substance. It can be wealth. In the form of Dhanam you give. That is Dravya. Dravya literally means wealth. Either you give people Dhanam, that is also Yajna. That's why you get detached from that possessiveness of that thing. I'm offering as a Dhanam, it is not in mine anymore. So also, when you do community service of giving your time, giving your energy in the form of, let us say, you are offering food to the, food, what do you call, homeless, or you are offering clothes and other things for those people who don't have. These are also called Dravya Yajna, or building a place for shelter for people. These are all Dravya Yajna. Here again, what you are offering is your wealth. To whom you are offering is the people who need it. Not to take it back from them. I mean, they will back down. Dravya Yajna. The next one is, second one is Tapo Yajna. Tapas is coming out of your routine of doing things. Every day you keep doing the same thing. When you take up to any form of tapas, it is not anymore habitual engagement. What you are habituated, stop it. So that's why when during this Navaratri and other things, 9 days fasting, 10 days fasting, or whatever you do, is to train your body to live with the minimum. Thereby, the body recuperates itself the energy. Not only that, you do not become a slave to the senses. So you say, for the next 10 days, this is not what I'm going to do. And let us see who is the master here. That is called tapas. Tapati means burns. You burn the usual habitual engagements. This is called, so your habits are burnt in the practice of self-control. That is called tapas. 7. 8 is yoga. Yoga yajna. Here includes all others. Yama, niyama, asana, then pranayama, pratyahara, withdrawal, dharana, concentration, dhyanam, meditation, samadhi. That is self-abidance. This practice, in each practice is also meant for withdrawing one by one, finally complete withdrawal. So the yama, niyama is a external, internal control. Then asana, staying in one condition, one particular posture. From there, advanced to that is withdrawal. So one previous practice is offered to the next one. Before the previous one, you cannot go to the next one. Unless yama niyama is practiced, you cannot do asana. Unless asana is done, the pranayama will not work. When the pranayama is done, then only withdrawal takes place. When the withdrawal takes place, when the concentration takes place. When the concentration leads to meditation, meditation leads to abidance. This is called yoga yajna. That's 8. 9th one is swadhyaya. Study. So by study, we burn our ignorance. So when you study or in satsanga, you learn something new which you have never exposed to. You start thinking differently. The new input has come. New information has come. It replaces the old one. It refines whatever already you know. It clarifies your doubts. So you are burning the misunderstanding, ignorance, and your belief and your earlier assumptions, conclusions. So they are all burned. In what? In studying the scriptures, you come to know something new or something better or something which destroys your misconceptions. So this is Swadhyaya Yajna. The 10th one is Jnana Yajna. Again, this knowledge gained when you offer to the world as though offering to the Lord, others' ignorance is removed. Gurudev said, therefore, Gita Jnana Yajna. Meaning what? This sharing of knowledge not only clarifies you more and more, but it also destroys the ignorance of all others. Right? That's why he called it as Jnana Yajna. So you are offering knowledge into the fire of others' ignorance. So you are offering it so that others' ignorance also removed. So this is Jnana Yajna. Then 11th one is Pranayama Yajna. In the Pranayama, see, air coming in is called Prana, air going out is called Apana. Really speaking, that is how to be understood. Because outgoing air, exhalation, either going through the mouth or going through below, both are called Apana only. So Bhagavan Krishna says, Prana, Apana, this control over these two are very important. So what they do is take a prana or air in and hold it for some time and then release it and hold it outside. Then take it in and hold it inside. This practice will make your mind very alert. It's called prana antarkumbhakam, holding it below. Holding it inside. Then apana or exhalation bahirkumbhak, not to take it anymore. So, but not all of them can do that because those who have high blood pressure, right, they should not do it because it will become a dangerous one. Take a deep breath, hold it. Then slowly release it out, hold it. Then again take the breath inside, hold it. So this practice makes your mind extremely concentrated. So the pranayama, air is offered in the practice of pranayama. This is called number 11. Then the last one is called niyata ahara. This is a very advanced practice of pranayama where you take the breath inside and hold it and stop. Niyata. So this is a very highly developed state of pranayama. They can hold it for a long time, because of which their hunger and thirst is also controlled. Because hunger and thirst are because of the movement of prana. So when people practice this kind of niyata ahara means controlled intake. And the controlled intake is not taking frugal food. No need to take food. While the engagement in the pranayama in such a highly developed state, they are able to take the prana and then hold it in and hold it in such a way that there is no need for any more movement of the air, which will create the sense of hunger and thirst. They can remain in these practices for days together without taking anything as food, not even water. So these are all advanced stage of pranayama, niyata ahara it's called. So in this way, evam bahuvita yajnaha. In this way, many different yajnas are there. Vitato brahmano mukhe. It is all mentioned in our Vedas. But then he puts one single statement there. Karma-jan vittitan sarvan all of them are actions. Evam jnatva vimokshase. All these are all no doubt with advanced practices, all right, and it brings a good amount of discipline, concentration, all that. But all of them born out of action, and action always give limited results. So what is therefore he says? Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. All these things are definitely useful to you, O Arjun, but jnana yajna excels all of that. Why? Because it is not an action. An action gives a result which is limited. Jnanam shows the result which is everlasting, because result of knowledge is not outside you. Result of knowledge is discovery of who are you. So that jnana yajna, therefore, it excels. Recognizing your innermost self, which is always free and happy, that discovery surpasses all of them. So he had to explain all of them only to show their limitation. ये भी कर सकता है, ये भी कर सकता है, ये भी कर सकता है, ये भी कर सकता है. All of them has been shown, but all of them are karmas only. Jnanam is superior to this. So that's how he concludes in the chapter 4. This is called Vividha-yajna-pradarshikaayai Namah. So we saw 3 of these names: Karma-yoga-prakaashikaayai Namah, Yajna-bhaavanaa-prakaashinyai Namah, and Vividha-yajna-pradarshikaayai Namah. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.